Arrow Season 8, Episode 5, title Prochnost. Now, this episode is the halfway point of the final season, and this is where we return to Washer. We return to the Barbara, return to all those things that makes it feel like Season 5. And the thing about this episode is, I found it was good, not the best episode. I found, it's one of those things where all the character stuff I really dug, and I enjoyed the first 3 minutes where you have Oliver train Mia, and which is odd because I say something positive about Mia. I mean, Mia in this episode wasn't this untitled brat that she's been since her debut last season. So when she's not that, I'm like, oh, okay. It seems like you're growing on me, or you are turning into a better character. It's one of those two reasons. And the scene that we got to me, I'm like, okay, they maybe got to be a character, or they understand maybe people are not a big fan of the Mia character, is when Oliver says to Mia, yeah, in the future, you're this. But right now, all I see is my kids as kids, and my job is to protect you no matter what. And for me, I really dug all that kind of stuff. I dug the stuff doing with Lo and how she's kind of flip-flopping between, because the mother goes and says to her last episode that, if she does this certain thing, F2 will be restored and all that kind of stuff. And so she's kind of like, am I sure I work with the mother? Sure I not? And I'm like, I enjoy all that kind of stuff. The stuff I found was okay was all of the main plot. I didn't even care much about the Roy stuff. I was like, cool, Roy's back. And that's kind of it. I don't know, there's a part of me, I think, because I know Crisis is in a couple of weeks, I think I'm kind of at this point of enough build up, just give me Crisis. Maybe I'm getting impatient. Maybe I'm seeing photos of Brendan Routh as Kingdom Come Superman and Kevin Conroy as Kingdom Come Batman. It's maybe I'm a little bit of a fanboy here, but I'm kind of like, I get you trying to build up, and you're trying to set up Crisis in this show. I mean, Flash kind of does it, but it has its own story, and attached to it is Crisis also. So I feel that might be a thing where I'm like, I'm ready to have Crisis done, get those final 2 episodes going, to feel complete and all that. But I won't lie, the ending I am quite, interested about, because spoiler alert, Oliver and Diggle finds out that Lila has been working with the monitor, and certain things happen. So the ending of this episode I quite enjoy. I'm quite curious how it's going to go. But also, just the fact it's meant to be season 5, and of course season 5 was the Washer season, maybe I remember the flashbacks for that season wasn't as good and wasn't that interesting. So maybe it's that. But yeah, I just found the main plots not that interesting, but I love all those little character moments after the episode.